They ignored the weak grandma cleaning rooms until she spoke perfect French. Now the CEO is begging. The polished sound of vacuum cleaners and soft footsteps echoed through the grand lobby of the luxurious Starlight Hotel. Grace Miller, a petite elderly woman with silver hair tied neatly in a bun, moved quietly, pushing her worn cleaning cart with practiced ease. At 68, Grace was invisible to most guests, just the week-old grandma doing her job. Her faded cardigan and modest skirt made her blend into the background of the bustling hotel, where polished marble floors gleamed under crystal chandeliers, and suited staff bustled around. As Grace carefully dusted the reception desk, her soft, worn hands paused at the sudden ring of her phone tucked in her apron pocket. It was an unknown number. She hesitated, knowing the hotel's strict no-phone policy, especially in public areas. But this call could change everything. With a quick glance around to make sure no one was watching, Grace answered quietly. Her voice was calm but confident as she spoke fluent French, flawless and elegant, a language no one expected from the frail woman cleaning rooms. "Bonjour, I see Grace Miller," she said clearly, effortlessly switching between languages. That's when she caught the sharp, surprised gaze of Michael Carter, the hotel's CEO, a man known for his cold professionalism and sharp eye for detail. Standing near the elevator, he froze, clearly caught off guard by the unexpected sound coming from the cleaning lady. Michael's assistant, Emily, who had been standing beside him, narrowed her eyes, confused by Grace's perfect French, the bimie. Sudden silence felt heavy, as if the entire lobby had paused. Grace ended the call, slipped the phone back into her pocket, and resumed her work, unaware of the storm her voice had just ignited. Moments later, Emily approached with a clipped tone. "Ms. Miller, the CEO would like to see you in his office immediately." The hotel staff exchanged quiet whispers, some sympathetic, others skeptical, as Grace walked toward the glass elevators, her heart pounding, unaware that this moment would change her life forever. Grace Miller looked every bit like the frail, humble cleaning lady the hotel guests and staff had dismissed for years. Her silver hair, usually pulled back in a simple bun, framed a face marked by time, soft wrinkles telling stories of hardship and quiet strength. Her hands, though aged and worn, moved with a surprising grace as she tidied each corner, her eyes scanning the floor with care. At 68, Grace carried herself with a calm humility that made her nearly invisible in the fast-paced world of luxury hospitality. She wore modest, faded clothes that told of a life lived simply and with little fanfare. A plain cardigan, a worn skirt, and comfortable shoes softened by years of walking endless hotel corridors. To the casual observer, she was just another background figure, a weak grandma doing what she could to get by. But beneath that unassuming exterior was a woman whose mind held secrets and talents that no one at Starlight Hotel had ever imagined. Grace wasn't always a cleaning lady. Once she had been a university professor fluent in multiple languages, including French, Spanish, and Italian. Her soft-spoken nature had masked a brilliant intellect and a lifetime of sacrifices she had made for her family. Grace's eyes, a calm hazel, held a spark of quiet resilience. Life had tested her in ways few could understand. Loss, heartbreak, and years of working tirelessly in jobs far beneath her education and skills, simply to survive after a devastating family tragedy left her alone. Though many dismissed her as fragile or slow, Grace's mind was sharp and her heart steady. She carried with her a silent pride and dignity, even when the world seemed eager to ignore her. The hotel's bustling environment might have overshadowed her presence, but inside she dreamed quietly of the respect and recognition that had so far eluded her. In this moment, as she answered that unexpected phone call in flawless French, Grace was a woman on the brink of breaking free from invisibility, ready to reclaim the life she deserved. It was an ordinary Tuesday morning at the Starlight Hotel, and Grace was quietly going about her routine, sweeping the polished marble floors of the grand lobby unnoticed by the crowd of affluent guests and busy staff. The hotel's air was filled with the low hum of conversation, clinking glasses, and distant elevator chimes. Suddenly, Grace's phone vibrated softly in her pocket. It was an unexpected call from a number she'd been hoping to hear from for months, the admissions office of a prestigious language institute in New York City. Her heart skipped a beat. Without thinking twice, she answered, her voice steady but low, hoping not to draw attention. "Bonjour," she whispered, speaking in perfect French. At that moment, the lobby went silent. The murmurs stopped, and all eyes turned toward her. Standing nearby was Richard Barnes, the hotel's CEO, known for his sharp business mind and little patience for anything outside his world of luxury and status. His usual composed demeanor flickered for a moment as he heard Grace's flawless accent echo clearly across the lobby. The receptionist, used to seeing Grace as just the cleaning lady, glanced up and frowned. But the silence in the room wasn't just surprise, it was disbelief. Richard stepped forward, his expression unreadable but intense. "Who do we have here?" he asked, his voice carrying just enough sharpness to make Grace's heart pound faster. The challenge was unspoken, but loud. How could someone so overlooked, so seemingly ordinary, speak such perfect French in a place like this? Grace lowered her phone and met his gaze calmly. No fear, no hesitation, just a quiet strength that left the room breathless. The CEO's challenge was clear. Prove she belonged or remain invisible forever. After that unexpected moment, whispers spread like wildfire through the hotel staff and guests. People who had always ignored Grace now stole glances, their curiosity mixed with skepticism. How could a quiet, frail old woman cleaning floors speak flawless French? What was her story? But it wasn't just curiosity, there was resistance. Manager Thompson, known for his strict rules and zero tolerance for disruptions, wasn't pleased. He called Grace into his office the very next day. His tone was cold and sharp. "Grace, you know the hotel policy. No personal calls during work hours. Especially not in the lobby where guests can see and hear." Grace nodded, her calm exterior hiding a simmering frustration. "I wasn't just on a personal call. It was about a language scholarship," she said quietly. Thompson scoffed. "Scholarship or not, rules are rules. I'm assigning you to the basement cleaning crew for the next month. No more front lobby distractions." Word of Grace's reassignment spread quickly. The basement meant long hours, hard work, and total isolation from the world above. It was the hotel's way of silencing her without making a scene, yet despite the setback, Grace refused to let this break her spirit. Every night after her shifts, she studied French textbooks she borrowed from the local library, practicing her accent and grammar until her voice was clear and confident. Her fellow cleaners, initially distant, began to see a different side of her. A woman with a fierce determination and a story worth listening to. But the road ahead was still filled with doubt, judgment, and the heavy burden of proving herself in a place that had written her off long ago. One afternoon, during a bustling hotel gala, a crisis erupted. The CEO, Mr. Daniel Prescott, was about to address a room full of investors when the live translator, who was supposed to interpret for French-speaking guests, suddenly fell ill. Panic rippled through the staff. Without a translator, the event could spiral into chaos, damaging the hotel's reputation. As the crowd murmured, Grace quietly stepped forward. Her hands trembling slightly, she asked, "May I help?" Whispers filled the room. Who was this old cleaning lady volunteering for such an important role? Manager Thompson's face tightened, clearly ready to shut her down. But Daniel Prescott, curious and pressed for time, nodded reluctantly. Grace took the microphone, her voice steady but soft at first. Then, as she began translating flawlessly into elegant French, the room fell silent. The guests listened, captivated not only by her perfect pronunciation but by the confidence behind her words. By the time she finished, applause erupted. The CEO's eyes widened, and even Thompson had to hide his stunned expression. Grace had turned the impossible into reality. From that moment, the weak grandma cleaning rooms was no longer invisible. She became the hotel's hidden gem, the person who saved the night, proving that true strength and talent often come from the most unexpected places. Word spread fast. The once dismissed Grandma Grace was now the talk of the hotel and beyond. Investors and guests whispered in awe about the woman who had flawlessly translated during the gala, saving the company's biggest night of the year. But it wasn't just about language anymore. It was about breaking every expectation. The CEO, Daniel Prescott, personally invited Grace to the executive conference room, surrounded by polished suits and skeptical faces. The tension was thick. Many doubted what a cleaning lady could offer at this level. Daniel looked at Grace, his eyes, searching for proof of her abilities beyond that one moment. "If you truly have the skills, show us what you're capable of," he challenged. Without hesitation, Grace pulled out a folder she kept hidden, a portfolio filled with language certificates, letters of recommendation, and transcripts from years of secret study. She spoke softly but confidently about her lifelong dream of becoming a translator and her sacrifices to keep her passion alive while working to support her family. One by one, the executives tested her on French idioms, business vocabulary, and cultural nuances. Grace answered flawlessly every time, her quiet mastery silencing even the harshest skeptics. Finally, Daniel leaned back, a rare smile breaking across his face. "You're exactly what this company needs," he said, extending his hand. In that moment, Grace wasn't just a cleaning lady or a weak grandma anymore. She was a beacon of perseverance and talent, a reminder that true worth isn't measured by appearance or status, but by heart and skill. Grace's life changed overnight, but not because of luck or charity. It was her unwavering determination and hidden talents that finally got their rightful place in the spotlight. The hotel promoted her to head of multilingual communications, where her skills bridged gaps and opened doors that no one expected a cleaning lady to unlock. Her co-workers, who once ignored or belittled her, now looked up to her with respect and admiration. Grace remained humble, always remembering the years of silent struggle, the late nights studying after long shifts, and the moments she almost gave up. At the company's annual gala, Daniel Prescott publicly honored Grace, praising her courage to speak up and prove her worth. Grace, with tears in her eyes, shared a simple but powerful message. Never let anyone define your value. Sometimes the strongest voices come from the quietest places. Her story inspired many, reminding everyone watching that it's never too late to rewrite your story, to break free from others' judgments, and to let your true talents shine. Grace wasn't just a grandma or a cleaner. She was a symbol of hope, proof that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to smash that thumbs up and hit subscribe for more unforgettable, emotional, and viral true stories. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell us, where in the world are you watching from?